Thank you.
Amazing. We are here, and this is the day that the Lord has made. We will continue to rejoice and be glad in it. It's such a joy to have mother and daughter on this interview. I mean, can you imagine? This is so divine. I wish today was Mother's Day. But anyway, we are getting down to the conversation of hope through vitiligo. This is a very powerful conversation because we are about to change what we have been doing. We've just been talking about, okay, how do they take it a day at a time, and how they're just adopting and accepting the situation as it is. But now today we are going to actually be bringing the whole aspect of how can we prevent it, how can we cure it. There's actually hope. Because when I looked at the pictures of this little girl that is seated with us today, from how it began to how she is now, you will see how progressive it's been and just how the transformation has been. And it's just amazing. Personally, I'm looking forward to hearing all that my guest has for us today. My two beautiful guests. And I was telling them they look really alike. But anyway, let's welcome them. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Yes, I think I will start with the little girl. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. So tell us your name and how old you are.
Okay, I'm Roseanne Makumbi, and I'm 11 years old.
11 years old.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And mom?
Nancy Wanjui, married to Bonnie, and I say my age.
Well, they say as women, we do not tell our age.
What I would say is I'm Roseanne's mom.
Yes.
And I am glad to have this remarkable daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, God gave her to me 12 can say 12 years ago if I add, conception and all. And it's been a journey.
Yes.
And today is just the day that the Lord has made, and here we are. We have lived one day at a time through this vitiligo phase. I would not have imagined 6 years ago or even 3 years ago that this would have happened. We've journeyed now for more than 2 years, and it's been a roller coaster. It's been fantastic, and the Lord has been faithful. Yes, we have learned so much, and here we are.
Yes, to share every bit of that story.
Yes.
So let's go down to the beginning. Before we get to Roseanne, maybe you can tell us when you first identified. When did you start seeing it? Or was it there, but then you did not notice it at first? What would you say about the beginning stages of the condition?
Interesting. So to begin with, it's a chronic condition. It's not a condition that, you wake up and you have it. No, it actually, it's progressive, slowly by slowly, something today, something tomorrow, but we did not know. So what happened is she had an infection, which followed after a trauma. My mother had a fire incident that was very traumatic, and we didn't realize how traumatizing it was, especially to the children and to her. So the trauma caused, it was 13th February 2023. 14th, she was sick, mouth sores, beginning with the bottom left lip. So after 2 months of medications, after medication, 1 week of antibiotics, antihistamines, anti-fever medication, she's not well, go back for review, another course of antibiotics, antihistamines, anti-fever medications, nothing. So after 2 months, then she's still on medications, on and off. One day she was just relaxed with her feet up on the armrest, and the brother passed by and he said, "Mommy, have you seen this?" I said, "Seen what?" "Come and see." I looked, I reached for my glasses. Oh, she was like, "What is it? What is it? Do I have cancer?" I said, "No." I looked again and I said, "Okay, I see what I'm seeing." And wow, this is vertigo. I gave it the wrong name. Then quickly I went and researched what's the name. Then I realized, vitiligo. Okay, now this is new. So that is when we noticed it. We did go to a dermatologist, and immediately, it was May 2023, and she was prescribed for you can say steroids to help suppress the immunity. So with the vitiligo, what it is the body loses the dark skin pigmentation. It's an autoimmune condition, meaning automatically the immunity is attacking the cells, the skin cells. And when that happens, the skin cells die, giving way to the melanocytes, the places where the dark skin is formed. They also get killed. And when they get killed, there's no more production of the dark skin, the dark color. So you now have patches. So that's what we got to learn through the doctor. So steroids do suppress the immunity. So we're told for 6 weeks, let her take. After 6 weeks, come back for review. Now, after the 6 weeks, we took 1 week before we went back to the dermatologist, and that was 1 week without medication. In that 1 week, the skin just the way we used to reverse the audio tapes, it just went rewind. It's rewinding worse than it was before. It was shocking. So quickly, we had changed location from Nairobi to Mombasa. We went to a dermatologist in Mombasa. Again, he said, okay, the steroids were a little bit too tough. You shouldn't have stopped. I said, doctor, was it supposed to be for life? He said, yes, this is a life situation. It was heartbreaking. So he recommended injectables, steroid, and a cream with evening sun. You expose her in the sun evening. So we went home. We are now talking August 2023. We went home, and when we got home, the following day, she had a vitiligo mark where the injection was put. I looked at that and I said, if this can do this, then what about, what more? This girl was diagnosed with asthma from 5 years. From birth until 5 years, she has been on corticosteroids. After the 5th year, she suffered 3 years of IBS-D. That is an autoimmune condition due to side effects of corticosteroid inhalers, which were prescribed for a whole 5 years. So you'll find that going the steroid way was not a cup of tea. It was not comfortable to imagine that now for life, this is what she's going to have. So it was a bit scary, but I just said, you know what? There has to be something more. What can it be that can help? So I prayed and I cried to God. And you know what? He heard and he answered. He really hears. So I prayed. August, September, I read. In fact, I came with the notes that I printed. I did a lot of highlighting, like for an exam, and writing. I come across a word that I don't know. All this is just about autoimmune, vitiligo, what is it causing? So if I come a word that I don't know, I would question, what is this? Go back, get an answer, write, overwrite, highlight, and all that. So it came now to dawn on me exactly what it is that could have happened. So when she had the IBSD for the 3 years, she got to get better after I gave her a natural herbal product by Harriet's Botanicals. It's called Busarek Ablelaitich. And at the time when now we are having vitiligo, she was in 1 year of no IBS. IBS is an autoimmune condition that causes the digestive system to cause either constipation or diarrhea. In her case, it was diarrhea. And the diarrhea was more or less water. You could see food particles. I took her to hospitals. She's diarrheaing. We would do tests. There's no amoeba, there's no protozoa, there's no bacteria, there's nothing. So it was suspected that the mucus that she was having because of all these on and off infections could be causing the diarrhea. So we said, okay, there's no cure, mommy. I usually call her mommy. You know, her name is Rose, and Anne. Rose is my mother-in-law. Anne is my mom, so she's mommy. Both ways, 100%. So I told her, Mommy, it seems this is your life. This is your intestines. Let's just be brave and we bear it. But now when she went into remission with the Busarek, it was beautiful news. You know, you almost feel like taking a photo of, you know, what is in the loo.
Yeah.
But it was a huge relief. And we also noticed that she's prone to triggers like some foods she would take, like beans, it would flare up, or terere managu, sukuma, spinach, there'll be a flare up. So we decided, you know, some of these things, let's cancel them out. And life was okay. So also asthma, she was in remission for 2 years of asthma. At the time when we are seeing vitiligo, she was not on any asthmatic medications, not at all. But now she had these 2 months of infection. And for the asthma, we did again a Harriet's Botanicals herbal product, 100% natural, sagawaita, and she more or less recovered. I don't know, and I wanted to believe it was the sagawaita. At the same time, I'm like, okay, it's the age, she has outgrown it, but it was more about the herbal. I believe so. It gave some kind of relief, decongestion, and all that. So we have researched. Now, that's when I realized this autoimmune condition, it is truly as it is said. It's an automatic immune response by the body reacting against the skin. But why? That was the question. Why? She was born dark, very dark, chocolate skin. But now she's becoming worse than me. My color is not pink. What is the problem? So the why made me go into that. And I got to put a finger, the trauma that she suffered. So today I would like to speak to all people. According to the Bible, we are told tribulations are part of our life. So all of us will go through trauma. All of us will go through suffering. How do we bear it? That is where it is. So she bore the trauma of the fire in her own way. I bore it in my own way. Let me tell you, I was in tears, and I think she was traumatized, not so much by the fire, but how I grieved that day. It was a very traumatic experience. I cried. And we are crying. We are not at my mom's. We are driving to go and help her. So that traumatized her. If I had known she'll be so traumatized, maybe I would have guarded myself, but I was not reacting out of how should I behave. It was more or less painful, traumatizing. So I'm talking today to people who are traumatized. How are you bearing it? Your body has the ability to break down during trauma. There are people who develop cancer. There are people who develop high blood pressure. In her case, she developed a flu that would not heal. Her immune response was so low. Immunity was very poor. So trauma, acute stress, or even chronic stress, you know, you're suffering, you have very bad relationships at home and it's prolonged, that also causes your body's immunity to drop. And in most cases, when your body's immunity drops, you'll realize that your digestive system is affected. So her digestive system was okay. But all of a sudden, the IBS came down. It came back, the IBS, diarrhea. It came back, and here we are now battling prolonged illness together with IBS. Then I realized also when now she has the IBS, everything goes down the drain. She's not absorbing because the intestines are affected. And the nutrition, she's eating what we are eating. We are healthy, our immune is okay, but her immunity is not okay. So the nutrients are going down the drain. Why? Because the intestines do not have the ability to the nutrients to, you know, like to pull in, to absorb. Yeah. Instead, it is just removing. So vitiligo if you have a digestive health situation, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, be on guard. You are susceptible. Even though it is said genetically, you are. How do you know if you have the gene or not? Do you know? You don't know. Right now I know because she has, so probably there's a gene connection. Or maybe it is even on my husband's side. How do we know? Genes are genes. So now that we don't know, let's leave the gene factor aside and look at what triggered, like in her case. So the nutrients are not being absorbed and the skin needs vitamins, vitamin A's, B's, in fact all the B's, the B6, the B9, the B5, the B10, it needs vitamins, it needs minerals. And one of the key ingredient is choline. It's a mineral ingredient that is in diet, mostly the organ meats. You can also find it in eggs and so many others. So this choline, it is so crucial in skin pigmentation, in the melanocytes job, according to my research. And if you are deficient in choline, in fact, choline also, is part of it is made by the liver. And it's transported to the brain. And in the brain, it's mixed up to a compound that is distributed to the skin. And you'll find as the distribution is dwindling, there's less that comes here because these are farthest. That's why you'll find, like in her case, vitiligo, and I think in many cases of vitiligo, it will start from extremities, the feet, the toes, the fingers, and where there's less hair, like the lips, the neck, where there's less hair, because where there's more hair, there's melanocytes, which produce the melanin. So that choline is affected by a lot of medications that have that word anti-medications. I'm not against medications, use them. But if you are using them prolonged, please be careful. So in medications are also anticholinergic. We are talking here anti-fever medications, antihistamines, antibiotics, which was all in a regimen of them. We are talking also antidepressants, antacids, all of them are anticholine. And this is the same ingredient that you also need for the skin, amidst others. So as you are using the medications, be on guard. I'm talking to anybody who is on prolonged use, please, are there other options? Are there other options? In Ezekiel, we learn that in the Bible, it says that the fruit be thy meat, and let the leaf be your medicine. Let's go herbal. Is there a regimen that you can make at home, a remedy that can decongest, like boiled ginger, garlic, and orange together with the rind? Can you do that? It might decongest instead of putting the body into a lot of stress. So again, the prolonged use of medications exposed to chemicals, which caused toxicity, and toxicity causes the oxidative stress, which causes the damaged cells. So basically, what I learned is vitiligo is about poorly formed skin cells. Why? Because of lack of proper ingredients. Number 2, damaged cells because of chemicals. So if the skin is damaged and it is poorly formed, the immune of the body is just doing its work that it was created fearfully and wonderfully. So just the way you have your immune system saying, bacteria, crush the bacteria, kill it, dispose. So the same way it says, damaged cells, she doesn't need this, kill it. All these are damaged. So what you end up seeing is actually something that is on top. It's topical. Like for her, when we look at images from April, we see actually the mouth had signs of vitiligo. It had depigmented. But we didn't know. And every day in the morning I would ask her, why are your lips like this? She would ask me, why are you looking at me so much? I said, it's your lips, it's your lips. I couldn't tell. So I want to again caution anybody here who is watching. If your lips are depigmenting, ask yourself, are you exposed to toxins? Are you exposed to medications prolonged? Are you having a digestive health issue that needs to be attended to? Are you under trauma, under prolonged stress? What is happening? It is your skin telling you things ain't right. I'm not absorbing the nutrients that you're taking in. It's one thing to eat, but it's another thing to benefit from what you're eating. We live a healthy lifestyle. We eat very well. But why this? Yeah. So when I realized that, I put on multivitamins. I went to Healthy You. I wasn't sent by anybody. I went to Healthy You and I was like, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. And you know what? I prescribed to her. Lo and behold, that was September 2023. November 2023, her skin was showing healing. No steroids. She was healing. I was like, hallelujah. Hallelujah. This is so good. We would rejoice. We are like, oh, you're healing. This is so nice. And then come November, December, January, February, March, April 2024. We are like, now you've been having very good progress. You're healing very well. How about we change? Let's give you back the foods. She used to love chapati and maharagwe and nazi and fish. It's a family meal that we like.
Yes.
And the boys, the brothers, cook that very well with their daddy. So it's a once a week delicacy, and we cook a lot. Tomorrow, the next day, we would eat. So she's like, can I have the maharagwe? I've missed it. We said, yeah, have. In fact, have everything. You've been doing very well. Let's observe. April and May, she took. As we are observing, looking, let me tell you, by end of May, the IBS was back. It was back. And it was back this time. So I'm like, okay, I have my good old Busarek Ablelaitich by Harriet's Botanicals. Take. And it seems that these foods are not good for you. So please, let's withdraw. So withdrew those foods. These are the beans. And also terere managu, mchunga. In Mombasa, there's mchunga, saget, spinach. We withdrew. And now we are on the vitamins and the Busarek. The IBS did not respond this time round. It was so frustrating. We are now in May, June, July. Her skin diluted. What we used to say, diluted. It just was diluting. You can tell the vitiligo, like the way soldiers used to, the Philistines used to be in the mountains, and the Israelites would know. That's how it was. You can tell them they are there. They are waiting. One morning she woke up and she had demarcations. We're like, oh God, I would tell God, please, dear Lord, not her face, spare, don't. I would pray. So at this time also we went to church, and Sitam, coincidentally Mombasa, we met a pastor and his wife, the pastor who took over from Pastor Munene, and I just asked for prayers. And the wife gave us her testimony and told her, you know what, my dear, you'll get better. I had, and mine healed. You'll get better. So it was a good sharing. Yeah, so we prayed, and I've been praying. We don't belong to Sitam. I just went for prayers. So I went to another pastor, Pastor Duncan. We prayed consistently. Even I have the WhatsApp, so we continued praying together. And what were we praying for? Revelation knowledge, which came through that. And after that, now every time I would go and show her to the pastor, and we'll continue praying. So by this time, Now she's regressing. We actually surrender. The IBS is worsening. It's not going, and there's no much hope. So she even told me, what did you tell me? Remember?
Yeah, I told you that if my skin can't be fixed, if it's too expensive, we can just stop looking for something to fix it. Yeah, we can just leave it. I would be okay with my whole skin being vitiligo.
Yeah.
That's a brave thing to say.
Yeah. She actually told me that, Mommy, don't stress anymore. I've accepted my skin and I am okay. And I told her I agree. And actually we have tried. If we hadn't tried, then we would say, but we are not going down the steroid way for now because of even the IBS is here. And we agreed. So even with the family, I informed the family and we agreed, okay, let's leave it. But now, come August, my auntie, we meet in church and she's like, what's happening? You know, everybody will meet her and they're like, So my auntie said, you know what? How about you go and see another dermatologist, Dr. Pancholi, Pandya Hospital. I told her, I'm done. No doctors. She said, he's not quick to steroids. Just try. It doesn't hurt. So I went, it's August, early August 2024, last year. I looked at it, I said, no. I'm not going. They charge so expensively. How am I? This is autoimmune. You know the sentences that you have in your mind. It has no cure. She has accepted herself. We have accepted. So it is God. God has allowed it. And it's true. He allowed it. But he allowed it because that was the best way for her body to cope with the trauma. It might have been worse. Even to me, even to anybody going through trauma, it can be worse than just vitiligo.
Right.
So for her, vitiligo is not so bad. It's not good, but it's not so bad. Because as she'll explain to you about her skin, just explain what you go through with your skin.
Sometimes when I bath with warm
You need
water,
to speak up.
sometimes when I bath with hot or warm water, the parts with so much vitiligo feel a sting. Yeah, but it's not that bad. Sometimes my skin peels, but we have creams for that. Yeah.
But she's so brave.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm saying time has really gone, but I think I would want to hear from her just a little bit because, that statement that I've accepted, that's not something that even grown-ups get to. So what made you get to that place of saying, even if this doesn't change, I'm still going to be at peace with it? What was running in your mind as you made that statement?
Well, first I was thinking about the amount of expenses there would be for the vitiligo treatment. Yeah, so I thought of that and I said, if my dad and mom don't have that kind of money, I can just leave it. I'm okay with it being like this.
Yeah.
Also, when I realized it was just your skin becoming white, I didn't feel like it was much.
Right.
Yeah, I just felt like it was still my skin, just two different colors. Yeah.
That's a punchline right there.
Shades of colors.
She said it's
Yeah,
just
it
my
is.
skin. I mean, that is a very inspiring statement, to be honest, because I think sometimes we can fix our identity on our looks. And we think that how I look is my identity. But when you know your identity is deeper than just how your skin looks like, then that's so empowering because you are still Roseanne, with or without the vitiligo. And I also want to hear from you on something. How has the journey been just seeing your mom so passionate about helping you? How has that helped you to just accept and be happy regardless?
Well, she consoles me a lot. She's one of the reasons why I still do the treatments and all.
Yeah.
Because she gives me hope of healing my skin.
Yes.
She does. She really does. Yeah.
And how is it just having that support from your parents?
The support is good. It feels nice. And anyone with vitiligo should really have that kind of support.
Right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
Tell her how sometimes you don't want to do the treatments.
Yes.
You pray that the sun does not show up. You want to sleep some more.
Oh.
Yeah, it can get tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, with sitting in the sun, lying down, applying the creams every day. Yeah.
If it's tedious, you just want to be a child.
Yes.
I know. And I think even part of just saying, you know what, I accept. I think every child deserves to be a child, without so much happening around you. So I totally understand. But then we cannot avoid the fact that they've been progress. I saw the pictures, and how it was at the beginning is not how it is right now. So tell us about, I think after meeting, you said your relative.
Yes.
From there, what happened and what change maybe did you see? What happened after that?
Wow. So, what encourages us, Roseanne, gives me the motivation to encourage her,
Yeah.
is every day there's a dot.
Wow.
So a dot is a beautiful sign. And now we are coming to how those dots started showing up. Yeah, so I met Dr. Pancholi finally. He did tests.
Yeah.
He did liver test, liver function test, thyroid function test, and the hemogram. And the results came back, the way you're like, dear Lord, may this be seen in the reports. So he looked at them and he said, there are signs of autoimmune in Roseanne. And these signs are what is causing the vitiligo. But he now he opened up, you can say, the third eye as to why the IBSD was not responding this time round. Despite withdrawing the beans, he looked at me and he told me, chances are she has developed celiac disease. Now, what is celiac disease? So, celiac disease is an autoimmune condition that affects the intestines and more so the small intestine. There are tiny little hairs in the tiny little finger-like hairy in the small intestine whose work is to, that absorbing the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrition from the food that we eat. So those finger-like have been affected. They are called villi biologically, and they are likely no longer there in her intestines. So basically her intestines are billers. The way like your skin here is rough, it's different texture, same to the intestine. So this inner part of the intestine is no longer okay. And he said we can go further and test to ascertain. You'll need to go to a gastroenterologist to put an endoscopy and confirm. I told him, no. What you have said, I have read. For the first time, now we agreed.
Yeah.
What you have said, I have read. I agree. So, no nutrition is being accommodated by her digestive system. Her body is not taking in. She's eating, and that now explained why she tends to be smaller than her other 11-year-olds. She used to tell me, how come I'm not growing? They are bigger than me. I'm the smallest if she's amongst her age mates. And I'll tell her, your mom is not big.
Yeah, she's not.
Look at me.
Yeah.
So go by me, don't go by others.
That's interesting.
And that will be just to encourage her.
Yeah.
But you know what? It now made sense. So there was likelihood of celiac disease, and this celiac disease is possible, especially with persons with vitiligo. They tend to have several other underlying conditions, and more so autoimmune conditions. Remember, I have mentioned that the skin is deprived of nutrition.
Yeah.
And that means badly formed cells are formed. So in the same case here, the whole body is being affected by the malnutrition. So including also the intestines. It's dependent on the food that you are eating, the intestines themselves. So he told us, gluten. Is she taking her chapatis? She looked at me. No, don't cross out chapatis. Don't go there. Please. I said, She loved her pizza, she loved her bread, she loves kaimati, mahamri, those traditional coastal gluten-rich.
Yeah.
Now the doctor is saying no more gluten because the gluten damages the villi. We need to heal the intestines so that she can now start absorbing. That was a game changer. And I said, hallelujah, dear Lord, thank you for this knowledge. Thank you for this knowledge. So here we are. He said we'll put her on multivitamin injections so that her blood starts having that nutrient for the next 3 weeks. So three consecutive sessions, and then after that it will be monthly. She was put on oral multivitamins. Now I had to shelve mine because she was using them, but they were not working, but they were not wrong. But now doctor gave according to prescription, her age and her size and everything. So we now have the multivitamins daily that are suitable for skin, hair and nails. He also gave a supplement that is herbal for stimulating the skin. It's called Leucodam. He also gave a cream, Leucodam cream, for applying at night. It's also a herbal cream. So he stayed away from steroid creams. It was herbal cream. I actually read through and I'm confident it's herbal, though it is processed. I mean, we need to make these things you can't use directly, So, which she applies daily at night. Then she was put on a monthly routine of the multivitamin injections, which she still does, and another monthly routine of cryotherapy, which is a liquid nitrogen gas. It's a gas, but it's solid. It's like it exists in all states. So it's sprayed with a gun directly onto the lesions, the vitiligo areas. Okay, so she has vitiligo on her arms to her thighs, front and back. The armpits, the torso is affected. Only her back is not affected. Wow. And the reason why the back has been spared is because it hardly gets friction, trauma. The back skin, unless you over scratch yourself, the back is usually dressed, it's covered. So I understand because of less trauma, less friction, it is attacked last. These ones are attacked first, the extremes, because of the nutrition coming here last. And you can even tell with the healing is starting from this way to that way, as opposed to that way, upward, because of the distribution of nutrition and how healing is happening. So same even that way. So she was put on the cryotherapy. It is actually a liquid nitrogen gas that is sprayed directly into that by the doctor himself, where it is vitiligo. Roseanne, how do you feel with that during cryotherapy?
So sometimes when doing the cryotherapy, they're like, ice crystals that pop out, and they kind of hurt my hands and legs, especially the whitest parts,
Yeah.
because he needs to spend time on those ones to stimulate the skin. So it stings, and sometimes I do cry because it's painful, but afterwards I feel a sting and then the pain goes away. Yeah.
It's very painful, actually. In fact, she cringes, and sometimes, honestly speaking, I cry. I hold her, she's crying. Even the injections, she doesn't like injections, she
I was
cries.
to ask her because
Yeah.
all those needles.
She
that
cries.
Yeah.
So prior to the appointment, there's a lot of preparing mentally that we go through. So cryotherapy hits directly on the vitiligo areas, and after that, her skin is very red. What, according to the doctor's explanation, is it freezes the badly formed skin, which is the fair skin. It freezes them to easily destroy them. So more or less helping the body to kill them so that it is easily eliminated. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting,
There's a
isn't
science
it?
to it.
There's a science to it.
Yes.
Yeah. So it
Wow.
it helps, and it causes where there's the normal skin or the new skin, that area has melanocytes, the dark skin pigment producing sites. So those sites start being stimulated to wake up. And actually, after cryotherapy, she tends to be red. And where there is vitiligo, she will actually scale, and in some cases even peel, and some cases even blister. Yeah, so that's the monthly cryotherapy, and she was also put in a solution that is lab prepared by prescription, and that solution we apply every day on all vitiligo areas using a paintbrush. I actually got a
Faber-Castell.
Yeah, Faber-Castell paintbrush that is broad. Initially, the laboratory will give a paintbrush, but it's so slim, it takes a very long time. So a broad paintbrush that we would paint the solution, it is prepared, and it is in a spirit form. So I apply in all those areas, everywhere. Then she lies in the sun. So the sun is early morning sun. It is a cool, gentle sun. The UV is good. Now, this solution is photosensitive. So because it's photosensitive, meaning light sensitive, it stimulates the skin, stimulates those sites to start producing melanin, to wake up. You're actually waking them up. We've given you nutrition. Now we are praying that you have been fairly formed again. Now start producing what you're supposed to produce. So the skin becomes red, and what we do is doctor recommended 30 minutes of sun exposure, either before 10 o'clock or after 4 p.m. sun. So if it's too cloudy in the morning, we would do the evening 4 p.m. So she would lie in the sun like that, with her baby cot mattress outside in the sun, bask 5 minutes, then go turn to the back another 5 minutes, this time exposing the palms and maybe the right ear, then another 5 minutes to the front again, then the next 5 minutes, this time like that, so that the back can also, the back of the legs, the back of the hands can get the sun exposure.
Yeah.
So a total, you can say both sides 15 minutes. Yeah, before now, when we were told the 30 minutes, we'll do the 30 minutes consecutively, and it would hurt. It will really be too much. So slowly by slowly, we worked on our 5 minute, and it has worked. So that helps with the skin stimulation. Something else he recommended is ocean bath. Go to the ocean, soak in the potassium, magnesium that is in the water, but no swimming. In fact, one time she swam. Maybe you can explain what happened when you swam.
So me and my friends went swimming in a swimming pool,
Yeah.
and after we swam like for 1 or 2 hours. So after we were done swimming, I forgot to take a bath. So I went home, and the next day when I woke up, I saw there were blisters and all. Yeah, I couldn't use my hands for anything at all. I had to wait like for a week for the blisters to go down and peel off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as if her hands had been dipped in hot oil. You could see fluid accumulation in there. They were swollen. Sleeping, she would sleep with her arms raised up, because putting them down, she could feel her heartbeat there. She could feel the hoo, hoo, hoo. And that meant anti-inflammatory medication. Now you're going to those anti-medications because the pain was too much. But with time, the fluid cleared and she peeled off like a
reptile.
reptile.
A snake.
She peeled off, as in really, and she was cracking. It was so, in fact, one of the images you have got that. It was so devastating. It was so painful. In fact, that period I couldn't even sleep. I was just watching her. And then, she would feel better if she dipped her hands in cold water.
Yeah.
And she would enjoy, only to learn dipping them in cold water is actually worsening. So with vitiligo, you actually need to work at stimulating the skin and providing nutrition. So are you warmly? A vitiligo person should be warm so that you have that redness on the skin, like the way she's red right now. It actually shows blood supply, and blood supply means nutrients are being supplied. And not only that, dead cells are being removed. If there's any oxidative stress, there's toxins and what have you, they are being drained. There's detoxification because there's blood supply. But you'll find if you're not warm, you tend to be pale. Yeah.
Beautiful. Allow me to read some comments that have come in because we only have 2 minutes. Can you imagine?
Only 2 minutes to go.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
It's been now a minute.
Yeah, I know. A second, if you ask me. But I'm seeing comments here. Melissa and Natalie Moment saying, I love you guys. Even in this, Jehovah receives the glory. I love the way Roseanne calls it vitiligo. I don't know. Whatever phrase. And I say, yep, it's a season and God is the Lord of every season. Rahab is also saying, baby girl has so much wisdom and full of grace. That's for you. And also another one saying, I love you, Roseanne. I give thanks to God for you. And I see that time is really, really going. But before we wind up, I would love Roseanne to give a word of encouragement. And I'll also give you a chance to encourage someone because there's so much that we cannot cover.
Yeah.
But I believe it's important for us to listen to what Roseanne has to say with everything that has gone on. You're so brave because I'm thinking about everything that you've had to endure and are still enduring. It's a lot, honestly. But then I love the way God has given you so much grace that you can still afford a smile even with all this. So what would you say maybe to a girl like you, or maybe they have a different condition? What would you tell them? Just a word of encouragement for them to keep going.
So I would say don't feel insecure about it.
Yeah.
Just know that you're always beautiful inside and out. And there's always going to be a way of healing. Even if there's no way of healing, just be happy. Embrace yourself. Look at the positives of your life. Yeah.
Wow. That's powerful. At 11 years old, you have so much wisdom that we need, even as grown-ups. So that is very beautiful. And Mom, having been through this journey, I mean, you've turned into a doctor, literally. With all the research, I mean, you can sit with doctors and they have nothing on you because you have done so much research, and that is screaming a mother's love. That is all it's saying. Actually, I'm looking at these notes and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is a mother's love. So what would you tell a mother who is probably heartbroken and they don't even know where to start? What would you tell them?
I would tell them there's so much hope.
Yeah.
There's so much hope. Our skins were fearfully and wonderfully made. Actually, the whole verse says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well.
Yes.
That verse, the way we say it is the living word, that verse lives today.
It does.
So just know there is hope. Go back to Ezekiel,
Yeah.
who says, the fruit is for our meat and the leaf for our medicine. As much as possible, look at what foods go alongside with your digestive system. Look at healing your digestive system. So if it is the gluten that you're reacting to, it causes bloating, do away with it. There's healing in eliminating it. Instead of encouraging and eating it and indulging because you have cravings, you actually are causing even further damage. And you need a working digestive system to help you absorb the nutrients, to help you renew this wonderfully made skin. It is actually an intricate system that we have. Vitiligo can get anybody. And you cannot go to the hospital and test. Do I have the gene? Do I not? Look out for the signs. If you are in stress, just know you are susceptible. If you are having digestive issues, you are susceptible. Work on it. Look at beautiful stress management mitigations. Like in her case, she does drawing, she does sports, hockey and tennis. She talks about it, she listens to the word of God, she meditates. So look at that. And most of all, research. There's a verse that actually says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The knowledge is there. Read about it. Even what I am saying today, go and research about it.
Yeah.
Read about it and see what it is that you will take. Not everything that everybody tells you will work. And then finally, the Lord will guide you always. He has guided us. This has really been his doing. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land. He knew we are in this land, and will strengthen your frame. Just the way he's strengthening her frame, you'll see a dot at a time right there. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail.
Amen.
And that's exactly what we have. That is Isaiah 58:11. Yes, all
Thank
glory to
you.
God.
Amen.
He has done it all.
He has done it all. I am so blessed. I'm so inspired and encouraged as well. I believe that the world needs to hear your voice and just your heart, because you have a beautiful heart. And I know that even with you loving the word of God, that's all you need for your healing, because healing starts from within. If you're healed from within, then the outside, as time goes by, will begin to show. So take care of your heart, guard your heart, and just continue with the same heart that you have about, I'm not insecure, I'm just confident. It's just skin, but I'm who I am because God says I am his daughter. So that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Mom,
Yeah,
for
one
making this
little
beautiful.
thing
Yes.
that I have not said.
Yeah.
Go for natural creams for the skin.
Okay.
For vitiligo persons, if you have that, avoid sun blocking unless really you are in intense heat.
All right.
You need the sun to stimulate, and go for natural creams that have aloe vera, moringa, coconut, all that to heal the skin. Go
Yeah.
to the leaf
Yeah.
for the medicine.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mom. May God bless you even for your
May God bless you
resilience,
too
your
for
hard work.
inviting us. Yes.
That's just beautiful. It's so inspiring to see how you have, done everything in your power just to ensure that your little girl is okay, for encouraging her, giving her hope. That's what we need. And you're a true hero for doing that. So thank you to our viewers as well. Asanteni sana for the comments, the feedback that has come in. God bless you so much. And wherever you are, just say a short prayer for our darling Roseanne. Wherever you are, just whisper a prayer to God so that she'll experience the healing that she deserves. I believe that it's just a matter of time, and we will testify. So allow me to say kwaheri, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. My name is Vicious Nudi. Bye-bye.